said Mattie. "You are a male." Back inside, Mattie put the bird bowl in its place by the sink, bent over and pulled out the cast-iron frying pan, which she declared was getting too heavy for her. She then warmed some beef stew and water, poured it into a small bowl over 2 opened biscuits, cooked that morning, and started outside with it. Maybe he's gone, she thought. She wanted him to be gone so she wouldn't have to put up with him until she called the dog catcher. She'd have run him off if he hadn't been so skinny and lacking in spunk. The dog hadn't left. Mattie put the bowl down a few feet away so he'd have to walk, and she could tell if he'd been hit by a car. He stood, walked over to the bowl, and with large gulps ate all the food. He looked up at Mattie when he finished. "You ain't been hit," said Mattie. When Robert, Mattie's 43-year-old unmarried son, who ran the convenient food mart in Bethel, 15 miles away, came that afternoon — he usually dropped by on Saturdays — he said, "Mama, what in the world do you think? Of course he ain't going nowhere after you feed him." Robert and Mattie were in the kitchen. "Well, he was so skinny." "He's skinny because he's got worms. Look at his eyes." Robert, 30 pounds overweight and graying at his temples, ate from a bowl holding a big piece of apple pie and 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream. "I know how to tell worms," said Mattie. "He's got worms." His mother was going to stand right there and not believe the dog had worms, when anybody could look at the dog's eyes and tell he had worms. Why couldn't you just relax and say, "Okay, he's got worms"? She was standing at the counter, dipping a scoop of ice cream for herself, wearing the brown button-up sweater, unbuttoned, with a hole in the elbow, that she'd been wearing every day, summer or winter, until at least mid-morning for, Robert knew, for 10 years at least. "I don't know if he has or not," she said. "Okay, Mama." Robert had recently read an article in Parade magazine which explained how grown children could avoid misunderstandings with their parents. It said to give up trying to change them. So he decided to give up on the worm argument, even though he knew he was right. "I couldn't just chase him off," said Mattie, "as skinny as he is." Robert, holding pie and ice cream in his spoon over the bowl, looked at her. "But now you're going to call the dog catcher?" "You know I can't keep a dog." "Why not?" Robert wished she could get a little company, companionship of some sort, something to care for, an animal maybe, a parakeet. He spooned the pie and ice cream into his mouth. Mattie turned to look at her son. "With all I got to do round this place? Besides, I'm slowing down." "All you'd have to do is feed him," said Robert, pie crust on his lower lip. "Use your napkin. You know it takes more than feeding to keep a dog. I got as much business keeping a dog as I got walking across Egypt. I don't even know why I'm talking about it." Monday morning, Mattie called Bill Yates and asked him to come get her chair bottoms. She wanted the bottoms of her 4 kitchen table chairs and her den rocker bottom recovered with some kind of oilcloth. They were looking so dingy, and she needed something she could just wipe off without worrying about it. Bill said he'd come after lunch. Mattie told him to come around 11:30 and she'd have a little bite for him to eat. There was that chicken in the refrigerator. He said he'd be there. She decided she needed a couple of short boards so she could place them across the open bottoms of the 2 chairs she used most often.